Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today the Animistic Tarot created by Willow Faye is going to be sharing its message with us. Now, this deck is like nothing I've ever seen before. I love the illustrations, the black background and the outlines and everything, and the colors. It's just absolutely beautiful. We're going to get into it. Nothing specific being asked. We have the guidebook and everything right here. If you want to check that out, I highly recommend this deck. Like I said, there's nothing quite like it. We're just going to see what it wants to share because I've never done this with this deck before, and that's what I like to do. Not only is it a general reading, it's letting the cards, the deck itself, share its message with all of us. And that's what I think is important a lot of times. We don't need to necessarily ask specific questions. We don't need to have anything specific we're asking or anything like that. We just sometimes need to let the deck tell us what it wants to tell us, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to begin by shuffling the way that I shuffle so we do not mess up the cards. That's one reason I do it, and the other reason I do it is because seriously, I suck at shuffling. Like when I do readings and stuff, I always hand the deck to the client, to the customer, to the querent, whatever you want to call it, to the person I'm reading for, and say, here, feel free to shuffle it however you choose to shuffle it. That way it gets your energy into it. So this is the way I do it, and it gives you just a chance to connect with the cards, to see, that connection with them, to connect with, I keep saying connect over and over, so I'll just get to my little spiel that I do and how we connect with them. As always, I want to begin this by thanking you. You are the reason that I have a voice, and I would not have a voice without you, so for that, I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nothing specific being asked. This might turn out to be a present-future advice spread. It might not. I'm just going to draw 3 cards, and it's going to be the message they want to share with us. And of course, the bottom of the deck, because I love sharing the bottom of the deck too, because I feel like it's the overall energy, or at the very least, something we may not have heard before. And let's just take a moment to appreciate the backs of these cards. Like, how pretty is that? That purple and green on that black background. Yes, Willow Faye is definitely an extremely talented artist. And I don't know many people out there that have her artistic abilities, like this love for nature and everything, because that's nature and we're part of nature. Like, look at the trees alone, like their branches and stuff. It's like our arms. The branches that stick out from those limbs, they're our fingers. Like, it's all connected, I feel like, and that's why I love this deck. So we're gonna see what it has to share. I'm gonna fan them out like such. I've got this one up here that's popping its little flower out to me. This one's got some full vibes because it seems like the stick is right there with the little bag that the fool's holding when he's thinking about leaping off the cliff. And then this one is the other one that's calling to me. So we're going to pull those cards out. I'm going to pull them all back up. And their Judgment is at the bottom of the deck. So we're going to set that over here and talk about it in a minute or however long till we get that part. And we're going to flip over one card at a time. This one seems to be the one that I pulled first, so we're going to start with that one. What do we have? Ooh, and it's Temperance. Wow. The colors. I just can't get over the colors. That purple, the green, the flow, and everything, that sun coming up. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, Temperance, as we know, is the card of the alchemist. Its astrological connection to Sagittarius shows applying the knowledge that we already have, those lessons that we learned, and being able to utilize that information in order to aim our arrows towards the stars. Going after our dreams, thinking big, and using that information that we have learned from the past. See how the river goes flowing towards the sun right there, and those clouds and everything? It's that doubt. I feel like those clouds right there are the doubt, but the sun is going to shine. There's that connection to Sagittarius. Stay optimistic. Believe we have what it takes, because the river didn't just start here. It flows all the way back. All of those experiences, all the things that we have learned along the way, that is how we're going to achieve our dreams. That's how we're going to achieve our goals. It's because we're going to learn from those experiences and apply that knowledge to the path ahead and take those waters, trust ourselves, and don't let that ocean of emotion overwhelm us. Pisces season just began. Pisces being the mutable water sign of the zodiac, it's a lot like Scorpio in the sense that those emotions can just want to break us, to want to pull us under and drown us in that ocean of emotion. But here we're above it, and we've been pulled under it before. Those waters, like I said, they didn't just start here. They haven't just started. We've experienced them before, and it's that information and that knowledge that's within us that can help us reach that day in the sun, help us reach that positivity, that happiness, that joy. 14 of the major arcana arcana that combines the Magician with the Emperor. So it says begin seeing ourselves as those strong foundations. What didn't kill us made us stronger, and we have everything we need to create those strong foundations moving forward and change and transform our lives for the better, because 1 and 4, that combines to make 5, the number of the Hierophant. And again, Hierophant, lessons, learning from the past and applying that knowledge to the present. Temper the doubt, believe in ourselves, and take what we've learned in the past and apply it to the path ahead. Set this card aside and move right forward. Who do we have next? I've got them right here. We're going to turn this one over because left to right. That's how we read, right? And there we have it. How cool is that? Yes, this deck already. Just taking it, like working with it, letting it share its message. It's so empowering. It's so positive. It's so wonderful. And it shows taking those lessons and applying them as we go forward, not letting that doubt creep in, not letting that ocean of emotion overwhelm us. There's that sun, that potential rising up on the horizon. And look right there. We have the sun itself appearing in the next card. So yes, this absolutely could be that present future advice that I absolutely love. So screw it, that's what we're going to call it. But the illustration, like everything blooming and stuff, are not in the water anymore. Happiness, joy, springtime, summer, all of those things that just bring us so much positivity in our life. That's what our futures can hold when we believe in ourselves and we take what we've learned and shoot for the stars and remain optimistic. Again, that connection to Sagittarius, that willing to learn as we go and to willing to just think big and see the big picture and see ourselves where we want to be and learn as we go in order to achieve it. All of those lessons applied, all of those things that we've done in the past, all those achievements, all of those failures, everything that we have learned before can be with us now to find that day in the sun that we deserve. Whereas the Temperance's astrological correspondence is Sagittarius, the Sun's astrological correspondence is Leo. Now, Leo is the fixed fire, whereas Temperance is the mutable fire. So we have that fire energy continuing right here. It's telling us to let those inner fires lead. Trust ourselves. Go with that ocean of emotion. Follow our hearts and believe in our worth, and then believe that we have what it takes to achieve this day in the sun. This appearing for the future and appearing right here on this card as well shows that we can have that happy, positive, optimistic future that we want for ourselves when we see it in our mind's eyes and we don't let that negativity pull us down. Label 19 of the major arcana that combines the Magician with the Hermit to create the High Priestess. 1 and 9 does not equal 2. Simple math there just like escaped me. Sorry about that. 1 and 9 equals 10. So that energy of the Magician with the Hermit, beginning to learn from those experiences. Hermit contains all the energy of the numbers that come before it, spending that time in solitude to learn the secrets of our souls. So spending that time learning from where we've been and then applying that knowledge to the to the path ahead so we can achieve this day of the sun and the future and all that positivity, that gives us the power to spin the wheel and believe that positivity and happiness are on our side when we do. So that Leo energy connected with the sun and that 19 energy connected with it as well shows that power when we believe in ourselves and we're not afraid to shine our lights and show the world what we're made of because we're optimistic. We believe in ourselves. We see our worth. We can and will achieve that day in the sun. We only need to believe that we can, and we believe we have the ability to do so. So I'm going to set the sun right here. We've got this awesome, empowering message here right now. If you're believing, if you're wanting to go somewhere, if you're wanting to do something, and if you're wanting to bring magic in your life and have that day in the sun, and take that knowledge that you have accrued throughout your life, temper that doubt, and flow through those emotions so that you can trust yourself and overcome whatever the past threw at you so that you can make your future that day in the sun that you deserve. Third card, so we'll say it's the advice, is right there. And that is the Page of Cups. So we'll say this is the advice, and it's really, really great advice, I feel like, too. Because unlike the sun, fire energy, Temperance is fire energy, immutable fire, and fixed fire. The Page of Cups is the emotional side. It's all this, I can't talk today. All the zodiac signs that are connected to that element of water. So this connects with the energy of Pisces. Like I said, at the time of making this video, which these are timeless, if you're watching this in the middle of, Capricorn season, if the middle of Scorpio season, the middle of Virgo season, it doesn't matter. If you believe in your ideas and you want to grow them and have that day in the sun, then you need to learn from those experiences of the past. Even the failures, even the mistakes, they all have lessons that you can apply to find that happiness and joy moving forward. Now, the Page of Cups, like I said, this is connected to all the water signs of the zodiac. So it's Pisces, diving deeply into that ocean of emotion, just like those little fish that you see in the illustration. Cancer, the cardinal water sign of the zodiac, caring more about others than they do themselves sometimes, the mother of the zodiac, reminding us that we need to be happy too. So focusing on finding our own joy, finding our own days in the sun, so we can have that happiness and positivity flow through us and just positive emotions. And then there's Scorpio with the fixed water sign of the zodiac, reminding us not to let that ocean of emotion drown us. Just like Temperance, those things in the past, they didn't drown us. We're still here. We can find that day in the sun when we learn from those experiences. And as this is the card of the inner child, all the pages kind of relate to inner child, children in our lives and just younger people and things like that. But the Page of Cups is the one that I feel is the most connected to the inner child. And it reminds us to heal that inner child, to forgive that past, to go into that ocean of emotion, just like this card kind of did too. We've got that river. We've come out of it. We're on top of it. But we've got to dive deeply into it first so we can face those emotions, face those things that didn't bring us, didn't hurt us, that might have hurt us emotionally, but it didn't kill us. So we're able to focus on where we want to go next, just like those fish in that illustration. If you go with the Lenormand deck, this is not a Lenormand, obviously. I'm still not 100% comfortable enough to actually read the Lenormand on camera and things like that. I still need to go back and look at the guidebook and stuff. So that'll come eventually, but I do know the fish in Lenormand is positivity and abundance. So we believe that positivity and abundance await us. It's right there. All of those, the school of fish, the school of life, teaching us the lessons that we need, seeing that day in the sun in our mind's eyes and having the optimism and the focus and the drive to achieve that day in the sun. This is just keep swimming. Just keep going to it. Find that happiness and joy and embrace that inner child and have fun with it along the way. Now that's 19, so we easily found that number. That's 14, and we easily found that. But we know members of the court, you don't see a number anywhere on here. But if you see them as the next step after the 10, that number is easily found. So Page, Knight, Queen, King, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's that energy of the Page of Cups, 11. 11 is justice of the major arcana, or strength, depending on who we ask. And that shows that finding that internal strength to learn from the past, to learn from those experiences. And 1 and 1 equals 2. So you have that energy of the High Priestess as well as strength and justice. The strength to be fair to ourselves. The strength to believe in our worth. Taking those experiences, trusting our intuitions to lead us to creating the life that we emotionally fulfills us. So that is the full reading there. Course, we have one more card, so we're going to see what the bottom of the deck, we've already seen it. So it connects so well, I feel with these 3 cards. And as I just look at them on the camera and look at it on my own little, where they are on my table, it's so empowering. It's so beautiful. And this deck is definitely becoming one of my favorites. I love the illustrations of it. They're so full of life. They're so full of nature. Just learning from the experiences, believing that happiness can be blooming in our lives and that day in the sun. And just keep swimming towards what we want to achieve, that day in the sun, happiness and positivity. And we've made it here to the bottom of the deck, where Judgment, the 3rd major arcana card, appeared for us. So this is important life lessons. This is your life, your story. You are the one creating it. So if you want that day in the sun, if you want to traverse that river and get to that day in the sun, then you've got to forgive that past. You've got to judge yourself fairly. You've got to forgive the past so you can learn the lessons that await you. Learn the lessons that can help you achieve that goal that you set for yourself, that day in the sun, that happiness, that joy. Forgive the past so that you can. One of my favorite songs out today is Shinedown, the band Shinedown. They make this song called How Did You Love? And one of the lines in that song is, there is no cross to bear. We are the judge and jury. So you can't let the fear or the pain or the just the stress and the emotional turmoil of the past hold you back. Just like this fire is burning right here and sending those smoke signals up, that fire within you is burning within you, ready to create a life that you're passionate about. But if you're just still sitting there in the embers, still sitting there in the sadness, not learning what that past has to teach you, then you're never going to be able to find that success of the world. That's the card that awaits judgment. When you're able to forgive that past, when you're able to learn from those experiences, you're able to find that success and wealth and feel on top of the world. Feel every day can be a day in the sun. When you believe in yourself and you learn those lessons from the past, judge yourself fairly, forgive that past so that you can find that day in the sun, find happiness and joy. Like the Page of Cups, judgment has that 20. So it very much relates to the High Priestess as well, and combines the High Priestess with the Fool. So you have that strong intuition, you have that trust in your inner voice because you learn the lessons of the past. You're optimistic, you want to believe that you can have that day in the sun, and it's those experiences of the past that's going to help you achieve it. So trust that intuition as you focus on what you're a fool for. Focus on what lights your inner fire and believe you have the ability to do it. Judgment's astrological connection is Pluto, and I love saying this. I love this astrological connection. It's the most empowering one of all, I feel. Pluto, once upon a time, was a planet. He was just as important as all the other planets, you know, one of the 9 in our solar system. And one day scientists said, nope, Pluto's too small. He's not an actual planet. He's a dwarf planet. So someone else's opinion, a bunch of scientists, said Pluto wasn't good enough. But you know what Pluto thinks? You know what Pluto said back to that? He said, I don't care what you think. The connections to Pluto with astrology are rebirth, transformation, endings turning into beginnings, you know, letting go of those opinions of others, letting go of that pain of the past, and believing in our own worth. That is our message of judgment, and that is our message of Pluto, and that is our message today. Taking those experiences of our past, learning those lessons of the past, and believing we can have that day in the sun where happiness and joy just reign, but going deeply into that ocean of emotion so we can learn the lessons, so we can forgive those past, and we can take control and lead the lives we truly love and enjoy. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video. I love doing videos like this because there's nothing specific and they always turn out so empowering and so full of happiness and light, and it just kind of reminds us our lives can be that when we focus on the good, we focus on that positivity. If you want a reading with this deck or any of the decks in my collection, then feel free to comment on this video, message me on the socials, or book one directly on my website. You can tell this deck is already like just the illustrations. If you watched I'll go ahead and put the link in the description below of where you can see all of the cards in this deck because it's like one of a kind. Just look how cool the sides are and everything. I've never ever seen a deck quite as interesting as this, as beautiful as this, and it was just an honor to work with it and to read with it, and I love the message that came out with it, and I hope you did as well. I hope it gives you the insight, empowerment, and just that positive mindset you need to go after that day in the sun, and you can forgive that past. You can learn from those experiences. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.